Hey, I see I have. Oops, turn that off. That's better. Well, at least I think you can hear me. I got a little flashback there on my device. I'm just testing the new mic, and got this Yeti mic, and I had a problem with it, so I had to have it exchanged. So I've got Adam in the room. Can you hear me good, Adam? Is there volume? Can you hear me? Let me see here. It shows, yeah, I think you can hear me. Anyhow, I don't expect very many people in this here. I don't think I'll get anybody really in here for the live, since I didn't do an announcement and didn't schedule it. But I decided to go ahead and just do this to test my Yeti microphone that I had exchanged. And I'm seeing some yeps. I've got some people in here, huh? Does it sound good? Not too loud, not too quiet. Adam, I see your update thing. Sorry, I'm not going to do any like troubleshooting or anything on this. I'm pretty much going to turn this into like a live update, just go over some topics. I'm very popular. I don't know about that. All right, everybody says perfect. Sounds perfect. All right, I just wanted to turn this into a weekly update. Like I said, I didn't schedule this. Just kind of, I was going to record something and decided, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and go live. Then I don't have to do any editing or anything like that. Not that my editing is all that great, but to go over a few things. First, I wanted to talk about, I did the video of my antenna mod. If nobody caught that, it's up here on my channel. I did the antenna mod on the controller with the alpha antennas for the Zino, and the one thing I wanted to just bring in with that was somebody else finally posted theirs in my Facebook group with using their Phantom range extender antennas. And he made a very good point of making sure everybody knows this is not to extend your range whatsoever. This is just to help with the issue on the 1150. This might not even be a permanent issue. But when you go to the maximum distance and you lose that signal and everything, the whole point in doing that update or that upgrade on that controller was just strictly to keep that signal or regain that signal better. So in my case, it worked, and that turned out to be a pretty good modification. I did not have to turn off the controller, and even though that works pretty good as a failsafe, I think people are probably afraid to turn off the controller. So if you do the mod, that should help you if Hubsan does not fix this issue with this 1150 when you hit that maximum range. The reason it will not change anything with the range as far as giving you more range is because that's just the way it's programmed in the firmware. It's not really a geofence, but it's a limit. So that's about as far as you can go with it, and then it's gonna cut out. So I don't think you're ever going to do anything as far as a perfect antenna to where you will not lose your signal or your FPV totally at all. But like I showed in my video, if you go and watch it, I lose it and I get it back. I lose it and I get it back. And the whole thing with that is I can hit return to home and I can bring it back safely and never turn it off. So if you haven't watched that video, watch that video. I just wanted to point that out. other thing I wanted to just bring up was I made the video of Hubsan, California closing. And I made sure I put in there that it's not written in stone. It's not a guarantee. It really isn't. It was kind of a rumor. But it doesn't change the fact that there is some strange things going on with Hubsan. And if you pay attention, if you've been with Hubsan for a long time and you pay attention, they're kind of easy to predict. They're kind of routine in the way they do things. And there's just been a lot of things that have been happening that kind of raise a red flag or an alarm with me. So those things are, you had Annie, if any of y'all recall Annie, who was kind of the face of Hubsan. She's gone now. She's been gone since, I think it was August of 2018. So that really wasn't a red flag. That was just like, oh, wow, she's gone. I'm friends with Annie. I talked to her, not a lot, but last week I talked to her quite a bit. So from time to time I check in with her. She checks in with me, and we talked a good couple hours last week and just kind of talked about things going on at Hubsan. And she 100% agrees something is going on over there. What it is, I don't know. I don't think they're in trouble. I don't think they're going to close down. But some type of revamping is going on, as far as my opinion. So you have Annie gone, and in the California office, they've let people go. And I think they're reduced down to 3 people now. One of the key players over there was Vivian. She was actually one that was supposed to take over Annie's kind of spot. She's another Asian girl, but very well versed, like Annie was. And I think it was October 2018 she was let go. So Vivian's gone. And then you have Ailsa. Ailsa is in China. Ever since we lost the RC forum, I don't think there's been a whole lot of Ailsa. So Ailsa's just a question mark with me. I'm not sure if she's still there. I'm not seeing anybody really say anything about her. I'm not seeing anything in communication with her. So I don't know, maybe Ailsa's gone. And one person I don't talk about or spread rumors or anything like that about, just because I've worked closely with this person and I really respect her. But somebody's already said it, so the cat's out of the bag. Shally Liu, she is gone. I think she left Hubsan. Maybe with her position, they're more respectful with her and gave her notice. But she has taken another position as a manager with a 3D printing company in China. So congratulations to Shally for her new management position. But it's also sad to see her go. She was a big part of Hubsan. But again, that's another red flag. Something is going on there. This is like a major rebuilding for Hubsan. And then I've already mentioned how the California office is reduced down to about 3 employees. And then you have the Netherlands. If you go to the Hubsan website, there's no information. If you go all the way down to the bottom, it shows its locations, their phone numbers, their hours of operation, address, all that. There's nothing for the Netherlands. So I don't know if they're operating at all. I don't know if they're limping along, if they're going to close, but that's a new location. So that something's going on there if they took it off the website. Unless they just want it to kind of be a silent location where they do logistics and repairs and things like that. I don't know. But if you are in the Netherlands, or that's your closest outlet, I would think you would need that information. So something is going on with Hubsan. That's all I'm saying. The other thing would be the Zino. We've been on this mad race of firmware updates, and I haven't seen any beta testers talking about anything that they've been testing. If you notice, when beta testers get a hold of it, it's like a kid in a candy store. They're passing it out like crazy. They're talking about it. They just can't resist. Not all, but many do. And so we went from 4.8, which I thought was a decent firmware. Then they put in 1150, and it's pretty much the same. It's not a big difference. You just have that issue mainly. The main thing is the issue when you hit that limit, it just kind of shuts down as far as your signal, your FPV and everything. So enough talk has been made about that. And if you know Hubsan, they're going to react. They're going to start putting out beta firmware and, trying to resolve that issue. Plus there's the other issues where it flies a little off to the left or right. And there should have been another beta or another update by now. So I think all those things that I've just listed, all those things put together, I think something's going on over at Hubsan. So just kind of throwing it out there. Everybody can kind of pay attention and see, just watch and see if you see any red flags. Add comments in the video after I'm done with this live and I save it, and see what you think. So before I go on to anything else, I'll just look over here and give some shout outs. I'm actually surprised that more than 2 people showed up. A lot of new names here. Chaos Corey 79, The Fish 6969, Petras. Sorry if I say any of these wrong. Clack 1971, Steve Lawrence. Hello everybody. Adam Smith. Adam, sorry I can't go over your troubleshooting or your issues right now. And let's see who else we have here. Hub NYAN, Hubnian. That stands for something. Dennis, how you doing? Hugh Pollock, hello, how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are. Fast Pace. Bush Pilot, Mike B, aka the Drone Ranger. Hey, how's it going, Mike? Malik's Videos and Images. Greg Trevor, how's it going, Greg? And I think I got you guys. I think I got all of you. Thank you guys very much for even showing up and watching this. I guess you had nothing to do today. The other thing I wanted to go over was just a reminder, anybody with a Zino, please put the pressure on Hubsan to supply the ribbon cable. This is very important because this is happening to a majority of the cameras that have the issues. It's this cable right here, not this one on the other side. This one goes directly inside to the camera. This one here has a total of 1, 2, 3, and then a connection in the side, 4 connections. If anybody's having problems with this, these connections are very fragile. So I've already gone under disguise and messaged Hubsan under a different name, talking about this, asking for this, and they're telling me that only engineers in China can install this ribbon cable. Now, if they're going to release this gimbal with a tool soon, like they say, in about a month or 2, that's going to be, from what I know in installing these cameras, that's a little more difficult than just changing this ribbon cable. Changing the ribbon cable changes nothing but just replacing a broken part. Changing the camera and gimbal from a new one or one from another quad and putting it in your Zino, there's an identification problem there, which is why they need to do the new tool, which I think is going to be a software tool to make the two identify and work together, kind of marry the camera gimbal to the Zino. But not to be a pain in the butt or anything, but just hassle them is the word I use, but flood them with emails and messages telling them supply this as a part, because I'd rather buy this for people, or have people buy this. If I were buying one, I would rather buy this for probably under $10 versus the camera for $100. They had the camera on their website and they had it listed at $99, but that quickly disappeared. So I don't know why they put it on the website and then quickly took it off. So if you want something, you got to kind of do something about it. Eventually, I think all parts will be available, everything for the Zino, but I don't know if they're just trying to figure things out. If they can do, if people, they think people can do these repairs. I don't know what stock they hold in people, but my abilities to do it, I know I can do it, and I'm sure a lot of you can do it. So just supply the cable. Let us do our work. I don't want to send it to China. So looking at under my alias, my message to them about getting the cable, my reply back from the Sam Lee account on Facebook was that the cable will not be available, that the camera will be available in 1 to 2 months with a special tool. Please be patient. And the cable requires you sending the quad to China to have it serviced. They specified China there. So why would, me being in the US, why wouldn't I send it to the US? So that's kind of weird. But they told me that I had to send it to China to have a qualified engineer change out that ribbon cable. So going a little long on that, but it's something that I'm pretty passionate about because I've worked on now 12 Zinos for people. I've had several with camera issues. I was just a lucky one that I was able, from a supplier, I was able to get returned Zinos, which they deemed defective, which really usually there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. So I was able to scalp the gimbals and fix other people's quads and some other parts that were needed for different problems. But not having that, I would mainly need that cable because that's always pretty much the issue. The cable breaks, it rips, the connections are bad, what have it. So that's enough of that. I just urge everybody, use the messages for like Sam Lee, the Hubsan official on Facebook, use those messenger IDs or accounts, message them, send them pictures of the exact part. I have a picture of it in my group you can use. Do the emails to service@hubsan.com, sales@hubsan.com, samlee@hubsan.com. Use all your resources. They're going to get sick and tired of hearing it. They're going to just say, you know what, let's just release this thing and let's sell it. So I've got one quad left that I was not able to fix. It needs that part. I don't have a spare camera to give the guy, and he's patiently waiting. And so for my own selfish reasons, I need one, and I know there's a lot of other people that need it. So that's all I'll say about that for now. The other thing I wanted to bring up, let's see if anybody at first before I say anything, see if anybody new popped in here. And I'm sorry, I'm really not going over and reading all the comments. I'm going to probably try to do that at the end. I'll skim through them. Bush Pilot, I'm not sure if I said hello to you, but hello, good morning. And it's all the same people. But the other thing I wanted to throw out there is there's another YouTube channel, and I'm sure some of you I recognize from when he does his live streams, or they do their live streams. But I just want to give another shout out to them, just because I'm going to be on their show next week. I think it's next week. But Zino Nation with Ron Brown and Marcus Crawford. It's a small little following right now, I think of like 40 some subscribers, but it's really entertaining. It's called Zino Nation, but it's really not, it really doesn't turn out to be all about Zino. There's really only so much you can talk about with the Zino, but you get a lot of DJI talk on there. You know, like me, these guys, I think Marcus has the Zoom, the Mavic 2 Zoom. So you get a lot of talk about that, and you know, things like I don't have it near me, but DJI Pocket, the Parrot Anafi, all kinds of different quads, and it's nice just to see, you know, what is in, you know, what compares with the Zino, what compares with the Mavic, other people's experiences. They always have a guest on there. So like I said, next week I'll be a guest on there. So if you do not watch or subscribe to Ron and Marcus's channel, it's called Zino Nation. I think it's all one word, Zino Nation. Look it up on YouTube and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell and get notifications. He goes live every week. Always has a guest on there. I think this will be his 3rd episode when I'm on there. So it's a new channel. And like I said, it's small, but just giving a shout out to try to get more subscribers over to him. Because like I said, it is very entertaining. So, they do a great job with it. Much better than I'm doing right now with mine. So hopefully I'll be able to appear on that show next week and don't mess anything up with my settings, because I have not ever joined a group of people in a live show. So, and that's that. The only other thing I really wanted to bring up, let me just see if there's any comments that need anything. Before I get to any comments, I'll read comments last. The last thing I wanted to bring up is in the mail today, and I just heard Alexa. She just made a chime. So she might be trying to tell me, hey, Alexa, what's my notification?
One new notification from Amazon Shopping. A shipment has arrived.
A shipment has arrived. So I need to go check my front door, because I have a Parrot Anafi, and or hopefully I have it. It's supposed to be delivered today, and if Alexa's right, it's at my front door. So I'm going to do, you know, I don't do unboxings. I'm going to just open the box, take everything out, and I'm not going to say this is the, you know, we know it's a box. We know what's in the box. We want to just see the main feature. So I'm going to just kind of do a opening and check it out, go over it, go over some specs and stuff on it, and then later on get into doing some flights and things like that with it. And I don't imagine it's anything that I'm going to have to do any mods or anything like that too. So that would be awesome if I can do that. And the other thing I need to figure out with it is the flight plan. Yeah, you can get flight plan with it, and that's pretty much a autonomous software. So that's what piqued my interest in the Parrot Anafi. So anything that gives you that ability to have autonomous software, that's always a bonus. So hopefully that turns out to be a really good quad, and I enjoy that. So that will be coming up soon on my channel, maybe today, tomorrow. I'm off for a few days so I can get caught up. And then the other thing is, I apologize. Early on when I got this, I did the pre-order deal of the X8 SE by Fimi. I did some how-tos on there, but I've done nothing else with this. I did the initial update on it when I got it. I did those how-to videos. I've gone out and flown it personally, just my own pleasure, just to get a feel for it and everything. But as for my YouTube channel, I apologize. I have done absolutely nothing with this. So I need to get caught up on this. I think I need to really, there's been people asking, so I think I really need to get caught up on this before I do anything really with the Parrot as far as going out and flying or anything like that. So my apologies to everybody for the Fimi. And I've got more flight tests also to do with the antenna mod for the Zino, because my location where I was way up high in the mountains, and that's really was an ideal location. I need to pick a nice wide open valley or something like that. It's kind of hard when you live in the mountains, but I need to give more attention to that and really push that range and see how it reacts. So there will be more to come on the antenna mod. So that's it. That's all I really wanted to bring up and talk about. That's kind of my weekly update. And now I'm just going to run through real quick and check some of your comments. I'll go back up to the top and watch here be nothing. Steve Lawrence, I saw where you said I'm very popular. I don't know really about that. I don't see very many people talking about me. Except for Ron and Marcus and them on their show, talking about me coming up on there next week. But thank you very much. Update on the Fimi X8, please. PT Ross. Sorry about your name there. Yeah, like I said, I'll do something with the Fimi X8. I promise. Thanks, Dennis, on the comment about the antennas. I am happy with them. Like I said, I think it's made an improvement. Dennis also says, I hear Shally's gone. Yep, I touched base on that. That really is kind of a shame. I really held Shally dear to my heart. She and I really connected as far as when I was working with Hubsan. When I say working with Hubsan, I was just not working at Hubsan, working with Hubsan through my computer. But I pretty much worked through Shally, and there was a time where Shally and we kind of had some control over things. And if you've been in my Facebook group for a long enough time, you know that it was kind of the hub for testing. I had all these little private testing groups that were totally private, and you were invited in there. You were given free samples. There was things that we tested before anybody ever had their hands on them or anything like that. Nothing major, but there were new models. Mainly it was, when the HT011 came out, that controller that was tested in my private testing group. We tested different versions of firmware. And if you have a 501, the 1141 package, Shally and I basically had full control over that firmware, and that's one of the only firmwares that never leaked. Didn't have a bunch of beta testers running around reporting different things and confusing it. We all worked together in a group testing that firmware. Shally was in that group with us. Sam Lee was in that group. They monitored our testing. They didn't interfere, and they just watched everything we reported. And it was not released until it was agreed on. And that firmware is flawless to me. Not flawless, there's always something small, but that's the best firmware that a 501 has ever seen. And I will stand behind that comment or that statement. But yeah, it's sad to see that Shally's gone. And she wasn't very happy with me here towards the end, because since the Zino came out and I broke away from doing all that testing stuff, I've said a lot more than I could say back then. More honest about everything, as far as I wasn't being dishonest, but I had to withhold some stuff, and I had respectively had to just not say some things. So with the Zino, everybody took it as I had an axe to grind and I was bashing, but that simply was not the case. It's just, I'm being honest with you. I'm going to tell you like it is. There's a lot of people that say, Marcus Crawford's one of them. He's really big on saying price point. The Zino price point of, say, around $300, it's really worth what you're paying for. I agree with that, especially now at this point with the 1148 or 1150. But I kind of disagree, and that's only because from my testing background with them, I'm a little more anal about things. When it comes to firmware, I want it more perfect. And when it sold the way it was, that was not worth the $300 as far as I'm concerned. Just some of the problems the Zino had. Parts availability, all that kind of stuff. I put all that kind of thing, all those things into factors. And plus, you know, you had all these different reviewers. Every reviewer that first tested it, you had 3 of them, and they were all 3 on different firmwares. You released it for them to test and had no Android app, all those kind of things. So that's where I was hard on Hubsan, or hard on the Zino. And so Shally and I didn't talk a whole lot. She did ask me to stop saying some things and stuff like that, but I didn't. But no bad blood between her and I, and I'm just happy that she's found something she's happy with. So a lot's happened with her this past year. She's had a baby, so this is baby number 2 for Shally. And she got her driver's license for the first time at age 40, I think she is. She got her a Volkswagen. So she's a brand new driver, and now she's got a brand new job and a management position. So good for Shally. What else we have? Hubsan sucks, Chris rocks. Hubsan doesn't suck. I don't think they suck. I really like Hubsan. If I grab the camera here and show you, I think you can see, to me, Hubsan doesn't suck. Now, I didn't have to buy these. I bought some of them, but doing my work with Hubsan and testing and stuff, most of that was given to me. They all weren't a pleasure to work with, because when you get free samples to test, like the new Compass, we worked on that for 16 months. It's no fun. You're opening them up, you're changing out hardware, you're doing a lot of firmware and all that stuff. I don't miss it one bit, but Hubsan I don't think sucks. I really enjoy their quads. I love the 501s. My 109 used to be on that shelf. I just sold that. I was able to get $500 for it, and I just don't get anything out of it. To me, it's kind of like my unique Q500. I just don't get anything out of it. When it comes to the big quads, I like my 3DR Solo, and I just prefer to have that and fly that. There's really not much out there, I think, in that size that can beat that 3DR Solo. So if anybody wants a Q500, I've got a full package there. It's I think it's a Fly More package, but it's got the hard case trolley with wheels and all that. So if anybody's interested in that, hit me up on Facebook and message me, and I'll sell it in the USA. So what else we have? I'm really actually surprised how many of you all showed up here. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I apologize for my video yesterday as far as my antenna update. I think you could tell how, I mean, normally on the camera, when I'm doing live, I'm a little more uppity, but normally I'm kind of docile, or whatever the word is you want to use. But I worked my 10-hour shift. I went straight from there, went flying for over 2 hours. I had 5 batteries that I used up. I get up at 1:30 a.m. to go to work, so I didn't get a good night's sleep the night prior. I think I definitely didn't get over 4 hours sleep. So doing all that, making the video, editing and publishing it, all that stuff, I was shot yesterday. So thank God I'm off today in the next few more days. But I apologize, because I watched that video and I'm like, dude, no wonder people make comments. Occasionally I get that a-hole that makes a comment about, you know, why don't I drink a Red Bull before I do a video or something like that. I shouldn't say a-hole. Sometimes I think they're being a-holes, but sometimes maybe they're just being funny and forgot to put an emoji in there. I don't know. You get a lot of a-hole comments. I like my Zino, but the changes in Hubsan make me concerned. Yes, I would agree. There are changes going on, like I mentioned, and I think it's very fair to say something's going on, and we're going to find out. We're eventually going to find out whether they are now owned by somebody else or just completely changing out all the personnel, which is silly, especially involving Charlie or people like Annie, Vivian. They were assets to the company. A lot of decisions Hubsan's making have not done anything to benefit the company, I'll tell you that. Making all these Facebook groups and like the Zino group, they used to just have one Facebook group. Now they have all these different ones depending on what quad you have, and then taking the Zino group and making it so all the questions or all the posts are monetized. If I go in there and I need a problem solved by Hubsan or its members and I post it and nobody sees it for 2 days, I'd be a little upset. And I've already said in a video before, I tested it with other members from my group. Privately, we just kind of posted comments, and we stayed on edgy topics that we thought they'd want to hide, and only one got through. So the rest never were ever approved and posted. So that right there is dodgy, and just another bad Hubsan decision, and I think it's hurting them. Makes groups like mine and other Hubsan groups more popular, but doesn't help them. We help them by working for free and helping everybody. My Hubsan QC Facebook group, Hubsan QC Help and Support, that's what it's based on. It's there to help people. I mean, people are welcome to share pictures, videos, and all that, but we're there to help you. And God bless all my members, all the members that are real active in there and help. Thank you guys very much. I can never say that enough. I used to spend so much time in there just doing stuff, but now I'm swapped with private messages. So to have competent members that can help people out with their problems, you have no idea what that means to me. Steve Lawrence, do you have the California address? I may be able to swing by there. If you go on the website, Hubsan website, and go all the way down to the bottom, you'll see the address there. They are there. Peter's there. Kevin's there. There used to be a Peter in logistics, I think. He's gone. He was one I mentioned in my video that I couldn't reveal his name at the time, but I'll just say his first name since I slipped it out there. But he's gone. But anyhow, yeah, Steve, you can go there. One of my members, he went there. The gate was open. He went in. The front door was open. He went in. Kevin's in there sitting behind the computer. And he chatted with them, and Kevin said there's no plans to close or anything like that. Not that he would tell them. I don't think Kevin would tell you, hey, we're closing doors, run for the hills, go buy a bunch of parts and stuff right now while you can. But yeah, there's people in there. Another member was going to go by and actually take them donuts. He didn't get to do that, and I hope he still does. And I think he was going to, I don't know if he was kidding or not, but he said he was going to take a spy cam with him. I thought that would be an awesome thing if he could go in there with donuts with a spy cam on and get a tour of Hubsan. So, yeah, Steve, go to the website. You'll find their address, and it's El Monte, California. But the street address and everything's there, hours of operation, phone number's there. Anybody can call it, but they're not going to answer that phone. They're too busy. Meanwhile, Kevin just sitting behind a computer. He can't answer a phone. But Hubsan says they're too busy. They're short-staffed and too busy to answer the phone. So that's not good business decisions either. But yeah, Steve, if you are nearby and you can go by there, that'd be awesome. Let's see. Hugh, where are you at? I saw you said it was 4:43 p.m. I don't know where you're at. I should know where you're at. I probably do once you say it, but if you're still watching, you just out of curiosity where you're at. I think you're UK. Nope, they're about the same time frame. I think. No, you're UK, I think. I'm about to attempt the update from 1146. Should I update the TX? Yes, you should update the TX with that. I would recommend going to 1148 if you need it. I have it. That's Chaos Corey 79. It's raining cats and dogs. We have beautiful weather right now. It's not real sunny, but it's warm and everything's growing. So after I'm done with this, I need to get out and cut grass and weed whack or hire somebody to do it. Okay, what else? I'm sitting here reading y'all's comments to each other. Yeah, the comments of the X8. I really apologize, and you know, to me, it's wrong for me to go and say, hey, I have the X8, and then put out some tutorials, which I don't know if they help people or not, but it's wrong, I think, for me not to go any further with it and stick with the obsession of the Zino. The Zino is just, it's had so much topics, it's kind of hard to walk away from. There's always something to put up with the Zino. But I think I am kind of reaching the end on the Zino as far as not stopping, but I don't need to be so obsessive on the videos. I don't know if the SAR features on the Fimi. I've almost forgotten how to do everything on the Fimi. It's been that long. Mike, Annie is doing awesome. Annie is working 2 part-time jobs at the moment, but she's doing very good with her music. If you guys don't know, Annie raps. Annie's a rapper. She does some theater work, but she has put together some songs and written some songs of her own. I've seen some of her stage appearances where she's gone to little clubs and sang. I've seen those on YouTube, and on the internet. And yeah, Annie is doing very, very well, Mike. She is a lot happier. She's a little more stressed now that the unemployment has ran out, and she has the 2 part-time jobs, and anytime she's working like that, it takes away from her doing what she likes, her art of singing. But she says, last week she said that she's got to put out like 5 songs for a recording label that's interested in her, so she might get some sort of small recording label. It's not really my taste in music. Not that I don't like rap, but her style is really not my taste. But since I know her and watching her and listening to her sing it, I like it. So I'm very happy for Annie. How can you do the photo album? The Zino photo video album from Selfie Drone Philippines. There's a video out for that. They just published a video out how to do their photo video album. I haven't done anything with that, so I don't know. I haven't even looked at their video, but I know it was just published not long ago. I simply take out the card. I take out the card, put it in my adapter, put it in my computer, and there's my album. I'm not into all the little bells and whistles and stuff, so I really don't know much about it. Toss up between Fimi and Anafi. I hope to find that out, Bush Pilot. I'm hoping it's sitting at my front door right now. I should have ran and grabbed it if it is there and seen. I'm gonna wrap this up here soon. Let's get through these. And I just scrolled too far. Oh, Dennis dropped out. I was sitting here talking to you and you're not here. Sorry. Okay, yeah. Updated to the latest. All right. Nope, I wouldn't work for Hubsan or any drone company that wanted me, Christopher H. Surprised the other drone companies are not hiring you. Hubsan is just worthless. I don't know enough to be hired, really. I would probably be a good service person. I'm not a developer or anything like that. I like to test. So I would be a good service person and I would be a good tester. I can easily just report what I tested. I don't think that really takes much up here. Yeah, that would be an ideal job. I would love to do it if it was a company that was a good company to work for. Here in the US, just forget about that. Another one. Oh, the distance with the antenna mod, it was just over 1,000 meters. I mean, it was, you're not going to change distance. That was the whole thing that I wanted to make sure I pointed out too, was that I said in the beginning of this live, is you're not going to change the distance. You're going to change what you have in that distance. And the whole thing you want is you want to stay connected. So it's still just over 1,000 meters. The most I've gotten is, I did actually get like 1,370 meters. That was on the old antennas, the original antennas on 1148. I have not been able to do that on 5.0 at all. Go grab it. Okay, you guys want me to go grab the package if it's on my front porch? My Anafi, if it's sitting there? Give me 5 different yeses and I'll go do it. 2, 3, 4. We need a 5. It's not going to happen. And there it is. Okay, now we got a bunch of yeses. I'm going to go grab it. Be right back. Woohoo! We have a package. There we go. Amazon. I guess I should see who it's from. Tech Union in Lexington, Kentucky. And it says Parrot. It's not very big. I don't even know what package I bought. I just went by price. I went with the cheaper one. For all I know, I could have bought a return used one. I don't know. There it is. I'm not going to get all detailed into this. We'll just, for those of you who have not really seen it up close, we'll get up close to it with the camera. I'm not used to such tiny propellers. Holy hell. Okay, so the reason I got it so cheap, I see now, and I guess if I read more when I buy things on Amazon, I'd find out, but here's why. Certified refurbished. So I bought a refurbished Parrot, but that's fine as long as it works and it's not been crashed. But $300. So hopefully it's not all banged up. Not a mark on it. So I'm not going to go into all kinds of detail because I do want to do a video on this, but this is super light, extremely light. I mean, I saw people holding it like this, doing that, and that told me it was kind of light, but man, extremely light, real flexible antennas, props, impellers. Here's what interests me. I just want to look at the gimbal. I like the way it's in there. Feels extremely cheap. I don't know that this is carbon fiber. I think it says carbon fiber in their description. I don't know. Feels like a good plastic. It feels pretty durable. There's some flex in some parts of it. And yeah, I'll give you a look up close. Here's the camera. Not really the best focus there. I got autofocus turned off because it tends to drive me crazy. There's your bottom. See there, there. Cooling fan, guys. We got a cooling fan. Hubsan messed up on that area. That's nice to see. So I bought a refurb, and it doesn't have a mark on it. Inside here is where your SD card goes, and it comes with the SD card already in it. I don't know what size it is. I'll do that on my other video, but it also comes with the adapter, and you have your cable. I'm not crazy about the fact that this is a USB charge for this. So I think a balanced charger. I see my first modification video coming up. Something where I can put this on my iMax B6, but I don't have this back in. There we go. But that's it, guys. I ended up getting a good deal, but it's certified refurbished. Extra props come with it. It's a nice case. I like this case a lot. It's got straps on it. For strapping it onto your bicycle, I guess. Motorcycle, whatever you want to do. Controller's got some really good weight to it. It's pretty heavy. After holding that Parrot, it's like a brick. As soon as you open it, it powers on. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's got some little features to it, but it's got a really good feel to it. I'll give you a look up close. And when I open it, it powers on. I like that. All right, that's all I'm really going to show on the Parrot until I actually do a video. I'm glad it came. Maybe I won't be cutting the grass now. All right, that's it. Let me just run through a few of the last comments here. And peer pressure. Yeah, fell into peer pressure. Like a kid at Christmas. I love my Anafi. I have issues with it. I don't want to hear issues, Christopher. Bush Pilot says issues with a question mark. I'm not even going to read issues. All right, now you caught me. Damn it. When I yaw the Anafi quickly on first takeoff, right after what? The gimbal horizon gets screwed up. It corrects itself after a couple of seconds. It stays level for the rest. That's something I'll look into and see how mine acts with that. I don't know. I haven't been watching a lot on this model. I just knew that when I first saw it, I was interested. And like I said, I was interested because of the flight plan that you could purchase for that. Christopher, do you have flight plan? Did you purchase flight plan, and how much is it? And where do I get it? I'm not sure if that deal is still on there. If I can find it this is for Mike, the drone ranger. I'll go back on there and see if I have the link, or see if they still have the refurbs. I know there was a limited supply when I got it, and that's probably why I didn't sit there and really read carefully. I just grabbed it. I should have known something with the price, because the one above it, there's only, I think, 3 sellers at the time, 2-3 sellers at the time on Amazon. I think the one above it was $4.99 and 5 something. So I should have probably read when I saw $300, but with Amazon, you can return just because you don't like the way it smells. So I wasn't worried if there was anything, I can just return it with no questions asked. Do a small test. Nope. Sure, I need to charge it up and do my homework on it first. Not firing it up in the house. My dog runs under the couch. I have a dachshund, a little miniature wiener dog, and she goes and dives underneath the couch. She can squeeze herself under that couch, but she can't get back out. So every time I fire up a drone, that's where she goes. Then I have to lift the couch and get her to come out. So I'm not going to do that. She's sick of drones. She hates drones. My wife's not crazy about them flying around the house either. I drive my wife crazy. I do have her flying now, though. She flies my little Hubsans. And that's about it. Dogs run, but cats attack. Yeah, I'm not a cat fan. I grew up with cats. I loved cats then, but I'm just not a cat fan anymore. I don't like how they jump up on the counters and the tables and all that stuff. So I'm not a big fan of the cat hair either. I think when I was younger, living at home with cats, and my mother had to deal with all that, then it was different. But then when you're grown up and you have kids in a house of your own, I don't want to clean up the cat hair and do that nasty litter and all that shit. So nothing against your cat. My daughter has a cat. It's a pretty cool cat, but I'm just not a big fan. I like big dogs. I've always been a pit bull owner. But after my last pit bull died, my wife didn't want a dog. She didn't want a big dog is what she said. So I ended up just going out and getting a miniature dachshund. She didn't say I couldn't have a small dog. So, all right. That's it. I am done. I just want to thank everybody for showing up. One thing I'm going to do a little confession, little personal information about myself. And it's also because it's something very important in this hobby. One thing in this hobby that you're going to find if you really get to know some people is that a lot of people, it's a therapy type thing for them, which is why they have the show. They also have a show. I'll give a shout out for them. I have to write stuff down as I get older. But where is it? Is this the right sheet? Yeah. Bill Thomas, Coast to Coast Drones. He has a show called Drone Therapy. So what I'm going to talk about now is kind of reflects to that. I like the name Drone Therapy because with myself and with a lot of other people, it is therapeutic. Whether that be something as simple as having a stressful day, you come home, you grab a quad, you go out and fly, and then you kind of forget everything. For me, I suffer from, I wouldn't call it suffer. I don't want to sound like a victim, but I've since losing a best friend in front of me in an accident. I used to have a 40-foot cabin cruiser, and we were out one weekend, Father's Day weekend, and he had late at night had gone overboard. Getting on the boat from the dock, he fell, hit his head. The current took him, and I did not know that he had been taken or fallen in the water. And by the time I was looking for him, it was too late. We couldn't find him. We found him the next morning, 100 yards away. It was an awful death because he got trapped in a fishing net and drowned. So with that, the loss of my father, some other family members, stuff like that, I suffer from depression, and it completely controls your life. Like, you absolutely do not want to do anything. So for me to go out and cut the grass or to do a house hobby, a house project, thing like that, I just don't want to do it. You'd rather go lay in bed or hit the chair and just disappear. You don't want to deal with anything. The only place I'm happy with it, where it doesn't affect me, is at work. I work for a great company, love being there, and the hobby, flying my drones and doing this little stuff here. So that's one thing I just wanted to put out there about myself, is I suffer from depression and anxiety. The anxiety has gone away since I started taking the CBD oil. So that hasn't been an issue. So if anybody out there suffers from anxiety or anything, even if you don't, just for health reasons alone, I really recommend you take CBD. You just want to find a good reputable dealer or somebody who manufactures it. But that's just something I wanted to throw out there about myself. Doing this right here. The reason I brought that up is me doing what I'm doing right here. I get a lot of anxiety when I go to click that go live button. Then once I do it, I'm okay. Or when I've made a video and I publish it, I have a ton of anxiety because if you know me, I don't have a lot of fans that are very respectful. I have a lot of people that have made just nasty comments. I've got people like that Peter Martin, who made a hate group on Facebook about me, did disgusting pictures of my wife on Photoshop, and I retaliated, which I never should have, because it just goes back and forth. He's like a child and doesn't know when to quit. But I get a lot of anxiety just publishing a video or starting out doing this. So that's why I wanted to just bring that up, because I really thank all of you guys for showing up. I'm surprised by the turnout, and I'm glad I did it. And we got some good stuff talked about. And now you know a little secret about me, because it's not anything I've ever gone out and told. There's only a few people that I speak to on a regular basis from my Facebook groups or as subscribers. That maybe 2 people know that I take something for depression and that I get anxiety. So anxiety is a nasty thing. When you get anxiety attacks, it's this awful feeling in your chest and huge rush of adrenaline. You can't sleep. So CBD oil helps a lot. Hemp oil. That's it, guys. I am going to end it on that, and I'm just going to look real quick. Chris, what do you mean, can I donate? What do you want to donate? You want to donate your parrot? The fish, your wife suffers the same thing. So you know. Good people around the hobby. Yes, Hugh. Very good people. You're one of them. I mean, so many people in here that I see as a regular. You all are great. I don't want to go through everybody's names because then I feel terrible when I leave any out. But yeah, Hugh, I've had enough dealings with you. You're a great person. Greg, Trevor, you're a great person. Here I am going down the list, and I said I wasn't going to. But no, that's the other thing with this hobby is the people that you meet. And that's why I also recommend you guys go over to the channel of Marcus and Ron, Zino Nation. Those guys are great guys. Ron is just an awesome guy. Marcus is a great guy. They're networked with some really great people, just all good positive stuff about the hobby, just good old boys, old men like me, sitting around shooting shit, having a good time, talking about drones. That's all they're doing. They get good guests on there. They had Rick Smith on there from Drone Valley, not on that show, but one of the affiliated people from that show, from his show. What was it? It was Al Duran's show, I think. No. I think it was the Bucket List Boys, which is Bill Thomas, Coast to Coast Drones. It's his drone therapy show. I think that's the show it was on, but they had Rick Smith on there from Drone Valley. If you're a DJI fan, you know him. He's great. So go over to those channels and subscribe, hit the bell for them, and it's a weekly show you're going to get from every one of those. There's like 3 different channels where you can get a weekly show from them, and I'll give them all a shout out right now. Zino Nation, you're going to get a weekly show from them. Bill Thomas, Coast to Coast Drones, he goes by. He does his show. It's Drone Therapy with the group of guys they call the Bucket List Boys. That's a really good show. And there was one more. I thought there was one more that I subscribed to, but those are 2 good ones. Go over there, subscribe to them, hit the bell, watch their weekly shows, and I encourage everybody to do it because it's always it's good to watch and always a good topic. Usually it's all current stuff that they want to talk about, and these guys have a ton of quads. Like I think I have a ton of quads. Mainly my collection is Hubsan. I've got the 3DR. I've got a couple 3DR solos. I've got the Q500. I've got my Mavics, the original Mavic Pro, the Mavic 2 Zoom. But those guys have a ton of quads. So as far as DJI, I don't throw all my money at DJI like that, but you'll get to talk about the Parrot. You'll get to talk about the DJI products. You'll get to talk about the Zino, whatever. So, and don't forget, go to Zino Nation, especially subscribe, hit the bell. I'll be on there next week, and cross your fingers I don't screw it up and I'm able to get on live. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for jumping on here and watching, interacting, and everybody have a great day. If it's late where you are, have a great night. Thanks again. Bye.